Sorry. All right, so we're just waiting to see. We had some technical difficulties. We are back. Hi, everybody. Well, I guess now that this will be the official new video. Hi, everybody. Welcome to an all new edition of the comments. We were having some technical difficulties. All right, let me see if I can. All right, now finally got Dex's request. Let's hope. Hey, hold on. Let's see. Prayers. Prayers. We're halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. Take my hand and I'll make it out, and we'll make it, I'll swear.
Can you hear me?
Damn, I hear you, but it's still very low.
Like faint?
Is it faint for you too?
No, I hear you fine. I took the case off and like, oh, maybe it's the case. I don't know.
I think it's the app. I was seeing people were complaining something about stories was going on. They were acting up because
right,
we just spoke on the phone right before this and we were fine.
How about now? I just turned it on silent mode.
It's just very faint. It's very faint. That's it. But we can.
There is something going on with Instagram right now. I'll talk a little bit louder. There is something going on with Instagram right now because the story thing, like when I look at somebody's story, it plays the same story multiple times, which I don't want to see. Like I'm exhausted with Instagram today.
It's too much. And just before we went on again, I said, let me check for updates. So there was an update available and I did it, but I can't. We can try to take this. What you want to do? Want to be a baller, shot caller, brawler?
Let's just go for it.
All right, let me shit. Okay.
Well,
all right.
Like, how was your week going? Like, what's been going on with you? Something tragic happened to me the other day. I learned a lesson.
Something tragic? Oh my God! Yeah. 1 second. I'm gonna try to pull this phone in more, guys.
I'm trying to scream.
Be right back. Hold on, because I'm like, if I pull it closer, I should be able to hear you. Guys, I'm sorry, I'm being real ugly up close in y'all face right now. Don't nobody want to see all that. Hold up. All right. Go ahead. What happened to you so drastic, Dexter?
Okay, so recently I was like, do you bite your nails?
Yeah, I'm a nail biter and like a puller too. I hate it.
I don't know about the pulling, but I bite my nails. And I was doing, I don't know why I'm leaning in like I can't be hurt. But you know, so I bite my nails, whatever, right? And like the other night I was biting my nails and like out of nowhere it started to like slide down the back of my throat. And like it was like the big fingernail. So it was a pretty thick nail, right? And I like lodged in my throat for like a solid like 2 days. And it's been like, and I'm like, I'll never bite my nails again because like you know that little dangly thing that's in the back of your throat? The nail was like stuck on it. And I'm like dousing all this water down my, it was horrible. Like
you did what now? What you just do?
Dousing all this, I was putting all this water in my mouth or whatever, just trying to like flush it out, trying to make it happen. And then it got so bad that I was like, I got in the bathtub and I laid down under the thing and I opened my mouth and I let the water just like go in there. Cause I was hoping that it would like drown it down or whatever. And it did not work.
Well, after having a near death experience, I probably wouldn't bite my nails anymore either. That was God learning you something.
And let me tell you something. Let me ask you this question. So in your friendship groups, right, do you have a ranking of how much you like them or who you like the most in the friendship group?
No.
So me neither. I never do that. And yesterday, one of my friends, like one of my like best friends, like they were like, oh yeah, I have a ranking of who I like in the group. And it's like 5 of us in the group. And they said I was last.
You was last?
Yeah.
You know they be saying things that get under your skin, Dexter.
It works.
You know you're everybody's favorite. You're the good guy.
No, I thought so too. Like, and you know what's crazy? This morning I woke up. Like, you know, this is how I know when I don't be over certain things. Like I don't let it go. Like the conversation was done and over with. It wasn't even really a conversation. It was just like a comment that was made. And I think I said like, oh, you don't gotta explain. You know me. You don't gotta explain.
You gotta tell me nothing.
Nothing. Then this morning I said, yo, that's really messed up. And then I said, like, why, right? And then the person goes, well, one of my relatives died, and this is what I said yesterday. One of my relatives died, and you were upset that I didn't say thank you or like acknowledge your text message. And like yesterday, I'm like, that happened. Like, I'm not gonna say that didn't happen. But then last night, like as I was meditating, I was thinking about this situation because it really got to me. I don't like to be last on nobody's list. I'm like, no, wait a second. That's not how it went. That's not how it
Not
went.
me.
No,
not me.
No. So the person lost a relative, right? A close relative. I was probably the first person to text them because like I know how that is and all that stuff like that. So I was like, oh, let me check on this person or whatever. So then days had passed, right? And we were talking about it amongst like other people, like, you know, how sad it was and all that kind of stuff like that. So then another person who's not even connected to this group goes, oh, yeah, this person's doing okay, this, that, and the third. I talked to them. Toy for me, I was like, that's it. That's it. Because you've had days to respond to me. You didn't. I get it right away. You're not responding to people like that. But everybody else is saying like, oh, yeah, I got a response. And I'm sitting there quiet like, oh, I ain't getting a response. Then other people like, oh, yeah, this person's okay. I got a response, this, and the third. So I was like, you ain't say thank you to me. You didn't say thank you to me. Do you know what they said to me, Toy? Like, you know my memory is really good, so because it hit me like a ton of bricks. You know what the person said to me?
What?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't respond to your message. I didn't have your number saved.
Woo!
I swear, I was like, okay. And I remember
you ain't never.
I remember that because actually I told you about it when it happened. Like, we talked about this, you and I. And I remember just being like, oh, that's the market. Like, I'm thinking I'm friends with people and they don't even got my number saved. And then yesterday, the person sent a screenshot and I saw how I was saved in their phone. It just says Dexter with no picture. I'm telling you, like, when somebody shows you who they are, you better believe them.
You gotta, and Dexter, you gotta believe him the very first time.
Yes.
Now, I'm sorry. I am having a little trouble hearing you, so I want to do the playback of the steps. Was the issue because you were the last person to acknowledge the death?
No, there was no. You know how when stuff happens, you just don't respond to everything. Like, overall, like, it really shouldn't have really been that big of a deal to me that the person didn't respond. But I do think it's rude to like respond because like overall, like if something like that happened to a person, like you're not really expecting them to respond because it's a bad situation. But if you're responding to everybody else around me and not to me, like that just feels a little like, I don't know, like, I mean, I guess it's selfish on my part to like even make that a thing, considering the fact what the person's going through. Like, I get that, but like to not respond to me and respond to everybody else just feels like I just. And
even if the number wasn't saved, you could have said thank you for your condolences. Because that's what I would have done. I mean, not how people deal with things, especially grief, differently. So, so the group chat comes to the light. Is this the topic? Real Live Deal says, my dad died and Dex told 3 people he was pissed. I don't respond. Now, Dylan, now, Dexter, why would you even let this get to you? It's Dylan. You know Dylan lives for this.
I'm just saying to you, like, it's just one of those things when you realize that people don't really like you. It's like, it kind of gets when you're nice to these people and you like them and stuff, and then you realize that they don't fool with you, like, cause I'm not one of those people. I'm not like one of those people that like post those memes of it, just like, I don't need nobody, no new friends. I'm not really that guy. Like, I'm a very open person, so like when I open myself up and I give myself to these people, I just expect the same thing in return. But everybody ain't gonna be me. That's what it is.
Well, Dexter, when you're on your way to the top, everybody can't come with you. And it actually might be a good thing that, God did you a favor when it was revealed to you that the door was closed and your number wasn't saved.
Yeah.
Because when a setback comes into your life, usually that's just God setting you up for a comeback, okay? Woo-hoo. And one day they're gonna be mad. That's the one.
I hate that you use my situation to be shady about you or something else. You are something else. But amen. Let's get over to
Amen to that. God is always watching, and he is, he always looks out for
anyway.
the
And
shepherd always looks out for his flock of sheep. And you know what? You are covered in the blood of the Lamb Day. And no weapon formed against you shall prosper.
not one.
Okay?
Amen. Now, local news.
Wait.
Huh?
Dexter, keep them company for a little bit. I'm about to go shut the air off because I think it's just getting away from the distraction from me hearing you. I will be right back.
You guys see the dedication that Toya has to this show. It's super hot outside today, so she's going to be in there sweating just to give you guys the comments. Amen to that. Before Toya comes back, I just want to get into a little bit of local news, something that I noticed, and I want to get you guys' thoughts on it too. Buying a new car. So I literally just saw on the news like 2 minutes ago that they're saying like right now it's a window unit. Right now is not a good time to buy a new car because of inflation, sorry. And apparently like that's the one thing that they're asking people not to do. All right, so if you were in the market, right, to buy a new car and you were hearing everywhere like don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, would you still do it? Would you then be like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and buy the car because then I can haggle for a better price because nobody else is buying them, so they need to get the cars off the lot? Or do you have a different logic where it's like, I'm not going to do it until like the economy gets better? What do you guys think? Hey, Toy.
Well, Dre, you got a lot to say for somebody who don't pay none of my bills. No, sweetie, that is central air. So you got to take that up with the facilities because that's how we move over here.
Wait, Heritage Doctor said I want to grow up and love myself like Dex loves himself.
I love it. I had to pin the comment. I'm sorry, Dex. Okay, what was the question?
Oh no, it was a car question and I wanted to know what they were gonna do. And most people are saying that they would get the car. So I should go get my new car.
Get your new car.
They're saying that with inflation it's not a good time to do it. It's probably best not to do it right now. This is what they're saying now in the news.
Okay. All right, we'll get into it. Today, it's so much mess happening in the damn world. Hey, DJ K-Rated Baby. We just want to have a good time today, and that will be the purpose of this entire show. And I think you're overdue for some fun, Dex. I'm overdue for some fun, and I think our crew might be overdue for some fun.
Yeah.
Loud. Dre, we gonna fight. Fed's raising interest rates 3 to 4%. You will pay more overall. Yeah,
so a chance to haggle them down in pricing. Like it may more than likely is a price that's more than what you should have been paying in the first place. So that's a good point.
Mm-hmm. Well, just wait and see. Hold on, your pockets again. What did God tell you? He's looking out for you. You're his flock. There's a reason he don't want you to spend that coin on that brand new car right now. Just wait. It's coming, sweetie. It's coming. Just give it a little bit, okay? It's coming.
And highest mortgage rate since 2008, and 2008 is when we had that crash too. Like that's when with recession. That's when we hit that recession when people were actually like losing their houses because of bank loans and all that kind of stuff like that. So that's we're heading right back into recession season. I hate to say that, but I don't. We're going into a place of people afraid to spend their coins, which I feel like right now people coming out of a pandemic, so people might spend a little bit more because it's like that pandemic, like, oh, I have to get out. So I'm seeing people booking their vacations and they out here. But I'm sure when they come back, it will be some penny pinching because we just don't know what's happening. Now, I will say, though, and this is another idea that I have, and Toya, maybe me and you could do this, too.
Okay.
2008, people like, it was such a horrible time in 2008. It was horrible, this, that, and the third. And I don't think so. Like, 2008 was an amazing year for me. Like, I had no issues with, like, anything. And I was like, why was I not affected by this? And I realized I was in college.
Exactly.
I'm thinking, a lot of us work remote anyway. why don't we just enroll back in undergrad? Like we keep saying we want student loans to be gone and stuff like that. If we're undergrad, we're actively students. We won't have to pay student loans. Like we would have a home. Like we would live on campus, so we don't have to pay rent anymore. Why would we not do this? Why not go back to undergrad as adults? Think about it. We have money now, so we can be doing whatever we want to do. Like we really don't even have to have cars on campus if we don't want to.
That's true, but I'd rather not have triple, quadruple the debt.
We'll just enroll again. Then we'll go to grad school. Like we're getting our education and saving money at the same time. This is kind of genius.
Well, that's what people been doing anyway. When the career ain't hitting the way you feel as though it should be hitting, a lot of times life ain't going the way you think it should be going. It's either two things. Let's either go back to school or let's have this baby.
Or they go to the military.
Yes, that's another one.
I'm saying let's go there and live on campus as if we're like 18 again.
I don't think I'm a year and some change shy from 40. My body can't handle 18 no more. So
we have so much fun. I'd be like, Toy, what you doing? Let's go to the lunchroom. Let's go to the cafeteria.
And I'm gonna be the RA. Y'all shut the hell up.
Well, I was an RA in college too. I was RA of the year, but this year I'm not gonna be the RA. This time when I go back to undergrad college, I'm not gonna be the RA. I'm gonna be the one that the RA's upset with all the time because I'm having all the parties. I'm not gonna have no bills. I'm gonna be getting all the Patron. Oh my God, it's gonna be so fun. I'm your RA.
I'm calling the cops. Oh, you getting expelled?
Oh no, don't call the cops on me because I'm 34 years old. They're gonna put me in jail.
So Dexter, are we just gonna do an old school part 2? I think that's what we should do. Did you ever see that movie?
It's Will Ferrell. I don't watch Will Ferrell movies.
Oh my God, that's when Will Ferrell was amazing. Dexter, do yourself a favor because this concept that you just had, watch old school. We'll bring it back and make it black.
Make it black. And we're this week, Juneteenth, y'all. And you know what? Don't be afraid to celebrate Juneteenth, ladies and gentlemen. Celebrate your blackness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get your kinte cloth ice cream from Walmart.
Well, do you have an issue with that? How do you feel about that?
It's America being America. It's corporations being corporations. I mean, I think it's ridiculous and you're crazy if you buy it, but because it's so new to us, we're like, what the hell? But trust me, a few years in, everybody named Mama. I got my Juneteenth ice cream.
It didn't bother me. I feel like that's like a cool thing to do. Like, look, we fought for Juneteenth to be a thing, right? So, like, you can't think that Juneteenth is not going to be Cinco de Mayo. Juneteenth has to now become St. Patrick's Day. Like, come on now.
Yes.
Like,
come on.
Exploited just like we've been exploiting everybody else for years. Come on now, black people.
When you go to certain neighborhoods and you see those heavy either USA flags or like Kiss Me, I'm Irish during St. Patrick's Day, all the flag, it's going to be kente cloth all around.
Yeah, now that's you took it too far.
Just hang, you know how Jesus, the blood of the lamb, they went ahead and put the lamb's blood over the door for protection. You're going to put a piece of kente cloth up above your door.
Everybody gonna be posting pictures eating watermelon thinking that's what black people do. Don't let Juneteenth get y'all messed up either.
Juneteenth gonna get y'all ass beat. You keep playing out here. And thank y'all to everybody coming in. I saw Shakima. Hi, beautiful. How's the coolest babe? Like one of the coolest baby boys I've ever met. How is he doing? And Jason popped on, and Jason, you're just in time. We're still having a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're pushing through. So hi everybody checking in. Okay, I guess we'll just get into a little bit. Our girl Monique, news has broken today. Remember back in 2019 when Monique told us to cancel your Netflix because they ain't trying to give me no kind of check. They hate black women's. And we all looked at Monique and said, girl, okay. And mind you, this was right before the pandemic came. So once the pandemic dropped, Netflix was king, okay? So the case, we just got word today, it was settled out of court. I mean, Monet has been a popular girl lately. She kicked off, within this past month. 50 Cent had her back saying, Monique is back. She's in it. Like, she is it. Monique kicks off one of her first shows here in Philadelphia, good old Philadelphia. Had a great show here. I've heard amazing things about it. Very next show, she gets to Detroit, gets on the stage, and just clears DL Hughley for no good reason that the audience could tell in that moment. So, I mean, what she said was it was something with contracts. He wanted to be the headliner, but I feel like a lot of these these people who go on tours, these actors, the comedians, performers, like we know the terminology, the janky promoters. And some janky promoters will try to do a switcheroo, so they can come up on top. So whatever happened, Monique said she was supposed to be the headliner. DL said he was supposed to be the headliner. Well, that night of that show, Monique was not the headliner, and it was DL. She gets on stage, go on this crazy ass tirade. And then to add insult to injury, a few days later, when people were trying to call her to the carpet on it, Monique decides to reshare a story that DL Hughley shared with us about some, I don't even really want to repeat it, but really personal family business. And the way Monique tried to package, like, how could you trust a man like this? And I was like, all right, well, maybe she is right. But then I went and watched the video. Precious mama, sit down. Sit down. This is too much.
I do think Monique is doing a lot. I will say, I saw in the comments, Hair to Die For said, how do we celebrate Juneteenth? She wants to get this right. And I think we should incorporate Monique in that. I think to properly celebrate Juneteenth, you have to not watch Netflix for the day. Like, we kind of got to leave Netflix alone. Yes, they did settle, but I think that at least for that day, for this year specifically, cool. We're going to hold off on Netflix. You have to watch Precious, just to see what the struggle was like for a young Black woman. You have to watch an episode of Precious. And then for dinner...
And Precious, she had the pig feet.
You got to eat pig's feet. You got to eat pig's feet with no hair on it, greens, collard greens, mashed potatoes, and you got to steal a bucket of fried chicken from, like, a chicken store. That's how you celebrate Juneteenth. That's what you got to do.
And then you end the night throwing your TV at your guests.
That's terrible. We're not being serious. This is stuff that happened in the most ridiculous movie ever, Precious. But no, for me, for Juneteenth, I'm just having a barbecue. Like, I'm having a family barbecue. It is weird though, because I'm planning to get a cake, and I don't know if I should write like Happy Juneteenth on the cake or not, or if it's like a silly.
You don't have to do that. Because you're Black, you really don't have to. Now, with that said, would you be offended?
What? What?
Would you be offended? Like, say your white neighbors invite you over, like, can we have a little cookout?
No.
And you walk over.
No.
And they got a cake that says Happy Juneteenth.
Okay, like, look, Toya, I'm telling you, I'm okay with Juneteenth being commercialized. I'm okay with it because we've commercialized every holiday. So I don't have an issue with them doing that. But don't invite me though. Like, I'm okay with you doing it. You do what you do, but I don't want to be there with you. And can I just say something that's controversial real quick? I feel like people will get upset with me, but I'm gonna say it because I feel like I need to. So growing up, I never, like Monique in that rant that you talked about, she talked about how she should have been the headliner because D.L. Hughley was one of the openers on the Kings of Comedy, and she closed the Queens of Comedy.
Queens of Comedy, yeah.
Yeah. Now, the Kings of Comedy came out in 2000, in the year 2000, right? I guess I was too young to like really watch it. I remember certain pieces and parts of it, but not the.
Mm-hmm.
When she said that, I was like, let me go back and watch this movie. It's not that good.
That's why when she was saying that, I said in my mind, now Monique, what land of delusion are you residing in this
But
week?
like,
Because we're not going to do that.
but people talk about the Kings of Comedy like it's one of the best movies ever, one of the best stand-ups ever, and I don't think so. Like, I don't think D.L. Hughley was funny at all. Like, I think if anything, he was very self-deprecating. Like, I don't find humor in that. And like,
Mm-hmm.
Cedric the Entertainer wasn't really that funny either. Like, here and there, I would laugh at some of the stuff he said, but like overall, like Steve Harvey and Bernie Mac like made the overall movie. But like,
Mm-hmm.
I still had to sit quite some time through the other two, and I didn't think they were the funniest.
John, we got Javon Pearson on the ones and twos. He said she's delirious when it delirious, delusional, all that good stuff with Monique. I don't know, maybe. Well, I don't know. To me, I loved Kings of Comedy. I mean, yeah, the Kings of what was it called? Shit,
Kings of
you
Comedy.
know, I started early today. But they can't, like, you know what? I'm going ahead and get another sip and keep the vibes going.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I enjoyed it. I don't know, maybe I don't know. Do you think it might have been a little dated? Like maybe the jokes were dated and maybe you
no,
didn't relate to that. Now you make me want to go back and watch it.
no, I think the jokes were the jokes that were always kind of told, but like for instance, one of the jokes that D.L. Hughley does is like black people don't like to pay bills. Like we always want to run from the bill collectors. They were talking about caller IDs. If we see a bill collector calling from a caller ID, I know I don't got no friends with no 800 number. Although you do have like an 800 number. You know that, right?
I do. Sure do. Times have changed.
Yeah. Like, I have no friends with no 800 number, this, that, and the third. I'm just like, I know, I get it. Like, black people have, like, this struggle that we have to overcome and stuff like that. But I just I don't really find too much humor in, like, self-deprecating comedy. And there was multiple jokes like that about, like, how poor black people are and how we go resourceful. Like, I don't know. I don't really find much humor in, like, pain. Like, it's like watching a slave movie. Like, I don't want to do it. I'm not
Django. Did you just call DL the Django a comedy?
I'm just saying I'm just not into jokes that are self-deprecating to a culture. And then,
yes, and that's fine, to each their own.
And you're doing that, and like there's a bunch of like they consistently show the white people in the audience laughing at it and stuff, and I'm just like, how do you? I don't know, how do you find that funny? Like I don't
know. I guess it's something where black comedians have done it. And it's sad. And I don't want to say it's all black comedians because it's not. But I think in this country, the mostly like black people have, as a collective, have unfortunately not had the best experiences. And I think that's the beauty of comedy, is to be able to draw funny from that pain. And like and it's pain, but it's a pain that's so relatable across so many types of people. So yeah, it might not be for you, but some people do resonate with that. So I'm just going to leave it there. But I've had heard, I mean, DL, he doesn't bother me. Sometimes I think he's funny, but he's not like, I would never put him in my top 5 of like funny comedians. And even if you break it down, funny male to female comedians, if you just narrowed it down to 5 men, he wouldn't be the top for me. But I appreciate what you do for the people you're trying to do it for. I guess your message resonates with some and not with others.
Now, while we're on this topic, you mentioned females in comedy, and I'm talking about the self-deprecating comedy. A white Amy Schumer, she recently did an interview, and she said that she was talking to...
It was that LeBron James barbershop thing.
Yeah, and I think Don Lemon was a part of it, and they're the ones who had like the back and forth, whatever. And she said, as a female comedian, like I feel the need I have to get up on stage, like females, like they have to get up on stage and talk about their body image, if they're fat or whatever, or if they're not the most attractive, or if they drink a lot or have sex a lot. And that's like the path they have to take. Like her, Chelsea Handler, all those female comedians do that. So Don Lemon then said, well, Tiffany Haddish doesn't do that. Tiffany Haddish talks about like I'm successful, I'm good, this, that, and the third. And Amy Schumer said like, let's see how long that essentially she said, let's see how long that works for her, because that's not what you do as a female comedian. Now, I'm not the biggest Tiffany Haddish fan at all. Like, I don't think she's like, funny really. But I also about Amy Schumer too. But I will say though, that like Tiffany Haddish, her comedy that she does, it's not self-deprecating. And I kind of appreciate her having the ability and everything of like speaking up for herself and like being honest and talking about how good
Thank you
and whatnot. And that's kind of like what I would have wanted that's what I want from like most Black comedians. Like stop struggle. Who do I like comedian-wise? I like Kevin Hart. I think he's good sometimes. Cat Williams, I think, is pretty good. I think Bernie Mac was amazing.
Okay.
I see people die in movies. I don't really like to laugh when I go to movies, to be honest. I'm a crime kind of person. Like, I'm not like trying to laugh really. I'm funny. Oh, Javon.
It's where to me it just seems like Amy Schumer is a hater. Like, girl, and it's okay. At the end of the day, sweetie, you played by the rules. You did what the industry told you to do as a female comedian to be successful. And you followed the rule book, so to speak, for you. You cannot be mad at somebody else because they did not take the same path but managed to find success. Yeah. And let's be clear, Amy Schumer, when it comes to, like, at least, I want to say, and I could be lying, so please forgive me if I am wrong. I feel like we've known about Amy Schumer's name much longer, like on a bigger scale, than we've heard about Tiffany Haddish. But that doesn't necessarily mean Tiffany hadn't been out there working just as hard as Amy has been working. But let's also be clear. We know how Hollywood is. We know how this racism-ish goes.
I don't know if I see racism in female comedians, to be honest with you.
Not in female comedians, but the people who are the decision makers to give these people opportunities. Does Amy really feel as though she might have gotten an opportunity over somebody who might have actually been funnier or more deserving of it, but the opportunity was given to you because you look like you bet? It's that, what do they call it? Not the privilege. It's the privilege of it.
The Monique thing was even, the Netflix Monique thing was actually about Amy. Like, she was a big part of that because she was getting the money thought she should have been getting. I just wanted to throw that out there. Javon, I actually want to hit you up about something comedian-wise. So I'll slide in your DMs.
Yes, please do that. Got news. Friday will be the last day of the Wendy Williams show the way that we know it. In the fall, Sherry show will kick off. Wendy said a few weeks ago on Joey Crack's show that she's coming back.
When you said it, in my head I was thinking Bro Talk Live. I'm like, I remember we played it, but it definitely was not us. It was Joe. It was Wendy on Joe. And I'm sorry. I started today.
You don't want to kick people when they down, but because she ain't down. She's not down. It's the setup for something bigger and better. But she said on that show that she's coming back. So yeah. I'm going to be glued to the television on Friday. And it would be nice if she would make an appearance. Oh,
yeah. Damn. Because you know what's crazy? Like, overall, like, and I think the part that we're like, not that we're missing, but we're not really acknowledging or addressing is that, like, her show was canceled. Like, that's when they're like, farewell, like, this is the end and stuff like that. They're saying that the show was canceled. Because remember at the beginning remember at the beginning when like Sherry announced her show and it was kind of like, well, what's happening with Wendy? And like nobody said anything. Like it was just kind of
No.
It was like you have to fill in the blanks yourself. Like they never said anything. They still called the show Wendy. They still called the show Wendy and all that stuff like that. And it's just like, okay, they had a bunch of guest hosts like filling in, and there was never like any conversation about the direction that it would be going in. Like it was just kind of like, okay, like we just struck it along. And then I swear last week they put out this email, and now it's like, oh, by the way, we're moving the show to, it's going to be called Sherry now, which I think we kind of knew just because like,
Yes.
But like now it's like real, and I don't think Wendy like is prepared for that.
No, I don't think so either. I'm prepared for her to show up at the doors, try to use that key, and they're like, nope, you can't get in here. Dre said bigger and better. Really?
Look, Hair to Die For said it went down so bad she deserved more. I mean, the last time that Wendy was really in the news, her movie came out, and we were like, oh, this is so exciting for her, this and the third. What happened? Like, no, I take that back.
Well, she fell. Remember, she fell in the costume.
But that was after. That was way before though. But I will say this though, I don't watch the Wendy Williams show. Like I work. Like I just never had time to watch the Wendy Williams show. And one time she said, "What's the purpose of an HBCU?" When she said, I'm out. I just even started a petition to get the show pulled off at that point. Look, you mess with me, you see what happened. God don't play about me.
You love stopping the bag, child. I love it. Dexter, stop your bag.
So, like, you know, all that stuff like had went down or whatever. And like I didn't watch it, but like since we've been on quarantine, like I've been watching it, and I'm like, and I remember me and Toya talking about Wendy in quarantine. It was horrible TV. Like it was very bad. Like it was.
Yes.
Yeah, there was a problem for sure.
Especially when they would have the people, who was it? Leah Remini, and then that other girl.
No, before that. Remember when?
Oh, when she was. Oh, yeah, because they made her come back early, and it was just a mess.
But remember before she was in the studio. Remember when she was at home and she would be eating chips and whatnot while she was like doing the show, and she was in this.
It was nasty, like pickles with. Oh my God, that wasn't a good look. Yeah, she needed to stay the hell home. Guys, Javon Pearson, if you're in the Philadelphia area, which is perfect because I'll be celebrating my birthday that entire Leo season, he's going to be performing at the City Winery on July 27th. So I cannot wait to show up. Javon truly is. And I'm not saying this, Javon, because you're a friend of mine, because the first time, like, I've seen Javon, like, and I had no idea who he was, it was at the Leah Core Center. And I forgot which concert it was. And I was like, whoever this comedian they have here is fucking hilarious. Like, literally had me in tears. And then it had to be like a year later or so, or maybe sometime after that, I saw him come into iHeart, or I might have seen him at one of the shows with, you know, just being around. And I was like, wait, oh, you're the guy that was performing? I was like, you were funny as shit. So guys, if you are in the Philadelphia area, you got to see this man live. It is an experience.
So, you know what's really funny? I guess I'll tell you what it is now. So I wanted to hit Javon up because next year I turn 35 and I want to do like different things every month. And one of the things I want to do is an open mic night, a comedy show open mic night. Like I want to perform.
Well, let him give you some guidance when it comes to that, because I'm telling you, he's one of the best. And when I tell you, this man has done stadiums and has everybody on the damn floor. He's comic gold. So guys, Google him, look up some of his stuff when he was on what was it, Def Comedy Jam. He did some stuff on the Apollo. It was amazing. It really was. So I'm looking forward to this Javon Pearson come up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I had a gnat fly. Look, you know,
like I can't.
Them hood reflexes kicking. It's like, oh.
Because like, how did you get in here? Like,
where did you even come from, my guy? What the fuck? How long do you even live for? Why are you disturbing my peace? All right. Our girl Britney Spears, she's married. Free
Real bad.
Britney. The Britney movement has led to our girl being shackled to the ball and chain.
No, I wouldn't say that. Because there was a report that came out that said Britney Spears has an ironclad prenup where if they divorce, he gets zero.
Zero. Her $60 million estate is safe in her hands, but it does not count anything they've acquired financially, even her after the marriage. So I'm like, and I hate to be this person. Don't be having my fucking girl out there working like a motherfucking workhorse so you could get some coins, sir, and get her knocked up quick, fast. Because I'm sick of City Boy season.
But you know what's crazy though? They said that her ex-husband, remember the guy she married in Vegas for like 24 hours or something like that?
Yeah, her high school sweetheart.
They said he popped up at the wedding, and the wedding was at her house. And they said this morning she fired her entire security team because how did he know what the wedding was, and how did he get in my house? Y'all all fired. Then she went and bought a new house. I loved it.
Now that is what a $60 million estate will do to you.
Yeah.
We can't. You was just in. Sage ain't gonna cut it. Not this energy that you brought in my space.
Yeah.
We're going to buy a new house, and we're going to have to get a sage staff and cleanse all the energy. But you know what? He probably snuck in like a little. It was a wedding, so all the wait staff that was probably easy to get in.
He looked like wait staff too.
He always did.
Oof.
Brittany love to help, child.
Yeah.
She love to help. Her and J-Lo too. She another one that love to help. Speaking of J-Lo ass, I just started watching some of that documentary.
Why? I like J-Lo and I wouldn't even watch that.
Because I've been hearing little excerpts coming out from it, so I have nothing to watch. So I said, usually, I tend to end my evening with good British programming. So before then, I like to, see what's popping, what the kids are out here watching. I love how everybody's talking about stuff of her cutting the ex out of the whole thing, the issue with Shakira. I just got to the beginning of the issues, like the friction with her and Shakira. But the biggest thing that stuck out to me that I'm wondering why ain't none of y'all bring it up, that scenes of her and the family in the kitchen and she was cooking. Now, you cook up, the whole family is there. It's about to be an occasion. So she's, whipping it in the kitchen, wrist twisted, whipping whatever. Grabs the spoon. She was like, all right, let me, taste this. Taste this. Okay. Mommy tasted. Same spoon. Mommy goes, it's a little too much vinegar. And she does another taste to the spoon and was like, I don't think so, Mommy. Then she takes the same spoon that she licked off of and put it back in the...
Well, she's about to eat it.
Huh?
She's going to eat it. Why wouldn't you? Like, it's not like...
If I was Mommy, I'd have been like, so that's your bowl?
I mean, you got...
I know, like...
I'm having a cookout this weekend. And people are bringing stuff that don't like live in my house, and like now I'm starting to get iffy. Like, how you be cooking?
Because here's the thing, I'm all for, if you're cooking, I live by myself, so I cook a lot of just for me the majority of the time. If I want to lick my spoon and put it back in my thing and it's only me eating it out of this bowl, I'm never going to serve it to anybody because it's just me.
Yes.
But y'all really be in y'all houses like just cooking. I'm gonna bring that. That's why I hate the motherfucking office potlucks. I hate that shit. You just don't know what people be doing in their damn houses.
Guys in the comments, can you tell us, like, when you're cooking, and this is a safe space, when you're cooking for other people, like, do you taste it and put it back in there, or is that nasty to you?
It's nasty. I'm sure they'll be piling in. Somebody, Hair to Die For said, I love this kitchen table talk. I saw someone make potato salad with their bare hands. Oh, You know what hair to dye for that you said that I'll never forget. It was one Thanksgiving in here, my stove went on the bomb and like the carbon monoxide stuff went off. So I said I had to call the people. I had to call Pico to come in here and fix it. So I'm making a potato salad. The guy goes, yeah, so when you make it, don't you just throw it on the table and just do it with your hand?
He saw somebody do that. That's why.
He said, that's how my mom made it. And my wife don't like it like that. He was like, my wife, we went in there and my wife goes, I'm never eating your mom's food again.
No, you can't say that. You're just not supposed to eat it.
No, I'm gonna be nice to your mama, and it depends on how nice she been to me. But you as her son, you gonna know about it, cause I wish you would. Don't be coming in my house with them habits. You take that over there with your mama. And guess what? When you take my kids over to you and your mammy house, they already gonna go on a full stomach, cause I'm gonna give them the talk. Don't eat nothing from over there.
I mean, but some people wash their hands before they do stuff like that.
I'm still packing my kids a lunch and some snacks for the day. You got everything. You got it. I trust Capri Sun over I trust your mama, anything in your mama house.
Oh, okay. If they're tasting it while they're cooking, the heat will kill the germs. Let me see who wrote that so I know not to eat it, Joel.
To me, I understand some people say the heat kills the germs, but for optics sake, no. And here's the thing, I do know, I watch a lot of the food shows, the top chefs, those top kitchens. You know when you go to that, now you know. I guess maybe for some people when it's coming from a 5-star chef, you don't mind a little chef spit because it adds a little.
I mind.
Huh?
If that's what you're doing, don't let me see it.
And then that's the thing, because we don't see it, but you know damn well in a lot of them kitchens at them fine dining establishments, that shit is happening. But I think we're just okay with it because we don't see it. So it's something about seeing it in the moment where you're like, oh, hell no.
Look, Dancing with Nature 925 said, hey, I was just asking the question. Don't play with me. I don't do that. Oh, but now moving on a little bit, right? So Boosie was recently in the news because Boosie came out and said, like, women are always coming up to me asking me, can they get their toes licked? Can they get their toes licked? So I need some fellas to come over. You'll get paid, you get compensated to come over and lick these women's toes. Now, I know that some people like toes, and I know some people don't fool with that. But would you pay somebody to lick your toes?
No. No. It's weird. No. Pay somebody to lick my toes?
Yeah, like,
if you want to lick my toes, you got to cut me. It's going to be the other way around. You got to cut me a check.
So
and the whole time I'm be looking at you side-eye like, you really want to do this nasty shit, huh? All right, cut me my check.
So apparently it's like a massage now. Like, you know how you go to a massage parlor and you get like a massage, or you go to the nail salon, you get a service done? The toe is like a service that people are promoting. Like, would you buy into that service?
No. I guess I feel like it's another sick way of like a happy ending.
Y'all get that turned on by toes getting licked?
I mean, I feel like you would have to have a toe fetish, like, to sign up for something like that, unless it's just the culture.
But if it's happy ending, though, that would be, the woman would be getting, she would be the one getting the happy ending. So, like, what, women are really that turned on by getting their toes licked?
Some are. I mean, it's different strokes for different strokes. I don't think it's a woman thing. I think it's just a person thing, and what gets you going.
Definitely a woman thing, because no man is getting his toes licked. They're not.
Now, them bitches is in this Dubai getting shitted on. You think they ain't licking a toe or two?
Wow. You know what's crazy, though? Remember, I don't know if that's true or not, that that's actually happened in Dubai, but I remember, like, years ago, people would say, like, these girls go over to Dubai and they get stuff done to them for, like, a lot of money and stuff. And it's kind of bizarre to me because now I feel like Dubai is such, like, a popular destination now, and people are like bragging about going to Dubai and having business in Dubai and all that stuff like that. But it's like, like I don't know, like I can't get over the stereotype. Like that's a stereotype to me. Like when I think of Dubai and girls running over there for the weekend, I think of that because like remember all the Love and Hip Hop girls would be going over there, and they were saying like this is what's happening to them over there. So it's like,
yeah,
is that still happening? And it's just kind of like acceptable socially in the sense of like I'm going to because like remember before they would go to Dubai and it was kind of like a secret too.
Yeah, because people didn't want to be seen because that's what it was synonymous with. It's still happening, but I feel like right now Dubai is being packaged as such a huge vacation destination. And now we even have the Real Housewives of Dubai. So I think that was actually a strategic move by them to somewhat take the seediness out of it. But them bitches still flying out there getting shitted on. Like it's happening.
What else you got?
They definitely getting shitted and pissed on for a check. Because you know now that R. Kelly is behind bars.
No.
Here.
Next story. You can't say that.
I did.
Oh my God.
I did. And Sheree Whitfield voice. Who gonna check me, boo? And speaking of Sheree Whitfield, and this is another thing, Philly, we've been popping lately. First of all, Marlo Hampton, Dexter's Aquarian
brother.
Can't Philly name out your mouth. Last episode, or whatever, a couple of episodes ago, a housewife, Sheree, if you've been following, she decided to put a halt on her life to support her jailbird boyfriend behind bars. Sis said, what's his name? I don't even know his damn name. I want to say Antonio or something.
Oh, Tyrone.
Yeah, Tyrone.
And they said it was 8 years.
Yes, because in the very beginning, there was issues with Tyrone possibly dating Nene. Nene threw it out there that happened. Sheree can't. He would never touch a bitch like you. All right. So meanwhile, I guess because she felt that way, she said, "I'm gonna put the cat on ice for a minute for 8 years, because when he come home, it's me and him."
Mm-hmm.
He comes home from jail. You know they got to do the halfway house stuff. She said, I'm going to get in my car and I'm driving to Philly to see my man.
From Atlanta to Philadelphia.
Uh-huh. I mean, because at that time, you know, there were things happening in the world. You know, flights were shut down. People weren't traveling. Your man just got home. You know, he can't leave the area. He's on probation still. You know, parole, a lot of times you got to ask your parole officer if you can leave the state. So it was just more feasible for her to come here than...
Wait, what's a halfway house?
That halfway house is that, like, it's like that time you're, like, out of... Not that I have experience, but, you know, I've been around. It's that time right after prison. Usually it's like a holding time before you're, like, fully free. So the halfway house, it's like you're out, you live in a shared, like, living space for however many months or however much time you have. And yeah, and then but you have curfew. You can't leave after a certain time. You can't come in, no guest.
I'd rather stay.
And yeah. Huh?
I'd rather stay at jail then. This is stupid. like, because if you put me in a halfway house and you were like, you got to be back in before the street lights come on, maybe not. I don't.
Somebody said, Dex doesn't know this life, nor should you. Exactly.
New York, and she drove from New York to Philadelphia.
No, I think she drove from something. Okay, so somebody said that some way she drove to Philly. I don't know why the girl drove up here and the man all of a sudden wasn't answering the call, so she still decided to come. So she's sitting at that French place out in I think it's not Washington Square, Logan. I want to say it's Logan Square. It's somewhere, one of the ritzy parts of the city in Center City. Mm-hmm. The setup was nice. Sis was looking flawless. He ain't picking up the phone. Where he at? Where he at? I'm happy to see my baby. 2 hours later,
Now,
people like, where you at?
do you think for the show, or you think that was real?
I think part of it was real. I'm sure they stretched it out more for the show. I think a lot of it was real too, because of course, as soon as the episode aired, Sheree couldn't wait to post some type of promo video alluding to the fact that she ain't sweating his ass. So I was like, she was waiting to post that shit. Like, she couldn't wait to show us that she's not bothered by it.
Yeah, because even if it was for the show, like, you live in Atlanta, you traveled to New York, but then you came to Philadelphia to sit there, and then this has been filmed and you're on television, and this man stands you up. This man who you've been talking about, this is your man, this is your guy for years, and then you publicly said that you put yourself on ice for him for 8 years. Like, I do think some of it probably was a little like staged or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's still, like, this is still your reality though. Like, that's
the fact that you did not answer your phone, knowing hours before we're supposed to see each other.
She talked to him that morning, so that means he told you, yeah, come down here, and you tried to call him back, and he was like, I'm busy. I think that, and maybe
what call?
Maybe I made 8 years up, but it was a long.
No, it was a long time. He might have been in jail for 8 years. It was some weird amount of time, but I'm thinking it might have been 8. It was a long time. Too long to be waiting on some nigga in jail.
Well, how long would you wait? Just curious. Like, if you were dating a guy, because she was dating him before he went to jail, obviously, I'm sure.
But from what I know, I mean, they didn't really say too much about it, but from what I know, even them dating, it wasn't as serious as at least I thought, or maybe it was. We really don't know their lives like that, but
we know what he was doing.
Huh?
We know what he was doing.
Mm-hmm.
In jail.
I'm not waiting. You might, depending on the situation, depending on who you are, depending on if we have kids, depending on the level of the lifestyle that was provided for me when you were home, depending on how long that lifestyle holds up. If there aren't any attachments, I'll catch you on the other side, bro. I'm gonna keep, because here's the thing. People go to prison and they get upset because people forget about them. I'll talk to you every now and again. I'll be a pen pal to you because you get a little lonely from time to time. But we ain't slowing down out in the time. Don't wait for nobody.
Okay.
No.
Protect the Styles by E said, I'm waiting 2.5 seconds. So that means
thank you.
As soon as the judge says life in prison or whatever your sentence is, I'm out the door.
Out, done. And that's what Sheree, you ain't got no kids, you ain't got no assets, you ain't got nothing with this man, and you putting the puss on pause for 8 years? For what? Off of a dream? Off of some shit that a nigga done sold you some snake oil?
Yeah, like, remember the one we talked about a couple of weeks ago, God rest her soul, who like freed that guy from jail. So these men in jail, they must be like doing something right.
They throwing that thing back on them. Speaking of doing something right, but on the other aspect of the other side of the coin, did you hear the story recently about the lady, an elephant? I want to say it's in India somewhere. An elephant, a lady was a 70-year-old woman was by, I believe, the river somewhere. I think grabbing water at the moment. A crazy elephant out of nowhere pulled up on sis and trampled her to death. So, in those moments, you're like, wow, damn. I mean, listen, when you out in nature and you sharing it, you got to remember that's their house. That's their house. So things like this, freak accidents like this happen often in the wild. But this one made it a little bit differently. Not only did the elephant take the lady's life, but the very next day, the same elephant decides to pull up to her. How they do it, they don't bury the bodies. They have like not a burial thing. Like, basically they burn the body. So they build up this mound to put the body on the top of it. You get them ready, and then the next day you have the funeral, and then you burn the body up. Well, the elephant said, not today. Get over here, bitch. Grab his little what they call it, not the tusk. The trunk. Rip. Now I don't know if it really happened this way. Ripped her dead body from down there, stomped on it again. And
see, that would never.
Lady, what you do to this elephant?
That would never happen in the United States. Ever. That could never, ever, ever work here. Ever. Because with us, yes, we were in the elephant's space. But as soon as the elephant killed her, Americans, we would have killed the elephant. You wouldn't even have the
not we used to, but it's PETA has taken over. That not in today's America.
Toya, are you crazy? When Harambe grabbed on that boy, they put one in his forehead. Like, PETA don't run nothing in here. I remember there was this time period where there was alligators snatching kids in Florida and stuff like that. It was getting out of control. And that's when it really, and this was like the summer of like 2016 or something like that. And Americans just started killing these animals like it wasn't nobody's business. Not playing no games with them. You mess with us, you gone. Even if we were wrong, you try to do too much, you out of here. So that elephant, you lucky you over there, because if you was here with us, you'd be on somebody's wall right now.
Because they done got all the elephants, round them up.
Yes.
Nah, at the end of the day, I love elephants. They're one of my favorite animals. And they knew better. What you do to that motherfucking elephant? He ain't just, this wasn't no random shit.
Wait,
what did you do to the elephant like 60 years ago that his ass remembered and said, when I see you again, it's fucking on?
Wait, can I tell you though, like, I'm not, so it's weird. Like yesterday, I realized that I may have this fear, right? Like I don't like swimming. Like I can't really swim that well. Mm-hmm. But I've always thought it was like such a cool thing to swim with dolphins. Like I always thought like, oh, that's so dope to do that. And I booked a vacation yesterday, and one of the things on the resort that you can do is swim with dolphins. And it was weird because I was so excited about that. Then after I booked it, I thought about it and I was like, what if it drowns me? Like you, I don't think you should be doing stuff like that with animals. Like what if something like beats me up or something like that?
What if he don't want to be bothered on that fucking day and here you are, and I just want to have fun.
You know me. You know I can't even walk into the grocery store without somebody wanting to fight me. So just imagine what the dolphin's gonna do to me. I'm nervous.
Flipper gonna flip the fuck out. Not today. I'm sick of this shit. Now let me out these goddamn nets.
Swimming with dolphins, like how is that experience, and would you recommend it?
Who?
Like in the comments, would they recommend it?
Yeah, if you guys have done it, let us know. It's one of those things that sounds great in theory. I feel like when the time would come for it, I'd be like, oh hell no. Another thing for me is a safari. In theory, like I cannot wait to go to the motherland. The idea of it, I love wildlife. I spend a lot of my Sundays watching the Animal Planet. Like, I love that shit. So I feel like I'd be all gung-ho. Yes, let's go to the safari. And then when it be time to get on the bus, I'm good. Did you see that video that went viral maybe a couple of months ago, where they were on the safari because normally the car is open so you can get the experience. The motherfucking lion came up out of nowhere, jumped on their asses, and basically gave them a hug, and they were petting the lion. In that moment, I will never in my life consider doing a safari again, ever. I am good. That was basically the wild letting y'all know, y'all don't run a motherfucking thing over here. I let you go today. I gave you grace. Y'all be in the motherfucking ocean, kikiing, just having a good time. And they motherfucking home, whale come, big ass blue whale come up, knock you outside the boat. I'm shitting all over myself in the ocean, all of that. It's not happened. it's not going to happen for me. I don't think so. Even when you're on a good yacht, because a lot of people will go yell whale watching, and I thought about it before. I think it'd be an amazing experience. I don't know if his well is bigger than the motherfucking boat that I'm on. He might not be feeling like it that day, and the day I'm on it, my ass will be capsized because the whale was sick of us. So, guys, treat Mother Nature correct. Be careful with the animals, please. And please don't just shoot up the animals or killing them just because they doing what they do. Hi, Wendy. Yeah, y'all know. Wendy Lataha?
Yeah. That's what it looks like.
Lataha, you know I get special with these names. Hey, baby, thanks for pulling up. I think we had a lot of fun today. I don't think it's any. Oh God, we can talk about. We'll talk about this next week. We come back. It's not a dated story. It's something you can talk about all the time. We talked about housewives. Oh, real quick, Queen's Jubilee. We'll talk about that next week.
No, I'm not.
It's somewhat. Huh?
When that stuff was on TV, I didn't look at none of it.
It's not necessarily about the Jubilee. It's something that happened at the Jubilee. So we'll talk about it next week.
Real quick, what's your fascination with the royal people stuff? Like, I don't get it. Like, they don't live here. Kardashians. Why are we worried about them?
We got the what? Well, you love watching their little show. I'm done. And I finally started paying for the legal Hulu.
You gotta watch the show. Why you just use mine?
You know, sometimes you gotta be honest. God don't bless you. You can't cut corners all the time, Dex. Sometimes you gotta give a little to get a bit more. So, but yeah, I see it populate all the time. I see the excerpts that come throughout the show. I'm not doing it. I gave you all those years invested when y'all bitches was on E. I'm done. I don't care if Kim gets on that show, cheeks bare, and spreads them all the way the fuck open so we can see it. I want nothing to do with that show. Y'all have fun with it, though.
I'll tell you this. It's changing the game of reality TV. It's a really, really, really good show. I really like it. And the last episode that I just watched, the oldest one, Courtney, was doing it, and she literally was like, I don't like how they put this scene together for this show. And it was so fascinating because they were talking about the reality show that they were filming. And like, I think this is a mindset that we have as like reality TV show viewers of like that fourth wall. Like, I think for years we've been obsessed with like breaking down the fourth wall because it kind of stupid to like have that. And I think they break down that fourth wall, and I think that's why people are really into it, because it's like, look, y'all are famous people filming a TV show. Like, acknowledge that. Like, stop acting filming a television show. That's so dumb. And like, I do like that they acknowledge that they're filming a TV show, and that they are who they are. Like, you don't have to play a character. Like, be who you are and film the TV show and be the celebrity.
But I feel like that's what it started out as. And that's when I was a Kardashian fitting your jeans by Friday girl. Kobe was my favorite. I loved them in the very beginning.
The beginning of it, though, to be honest with you, was we weren't used to reality shows, like yes, many of them. So a lot of what we were seeing was staged for us to feel more relatable to those people. Like, they were doing.
I wouldn't say that in the very beginning. No, it did morph into that, but it wasn't a motherfucking thing related to the masses. When 10-year-old Kylie and the other one was swinging around that motherfucking stripper pole.
I think that if you think about it like this, though, Toya, like, Kris Jenner is an executive producer on the show, and you know what that looks like. Your 10-year-old kid swinging poles, your other daughter going to jail. You're filming these things for a reason. Like, to me, it's hard to give them credit for that and say, like, oh, that was a real moment that happened.
Credit. Yeah, don't say you gave them too much. It ain't no credit.
Because I just feel like that was all fake and all staged and stuff like that. Even when Khloe went to jail, like, they reshot
that
scene. Like,
I would say some of that is a little bit, but just that Hollywood lifestyle and somewhat being in it, that shit was real because that's their normal. Like, it did change and morph, but when you're around these spaces and Everybody else, so why would I not put it on TV? This is normal. It's okay. It's just a pole. They swinging around. Like, and then you get that worldwide checking. And in the beginning, they really didn't have as much say. That's when it was a full-on Ryan Seacrest production, and he was really calling the shots. But then as they got more, celebrity and more famous and more of the money rolled in, then that's when you started seeing more of the contrived and like really packaged once they had more of a say. So even with them now, the machine, even with this one, we know Kris Jenner and how she is. She's going to control everything. So trust me, there's some type of game playing. Yeah, we'll show a little bit, and maybe on the editing room floor, we'll decide okay, yeah, that's tame. Go ahead and throw that. You don't need to put that in there.
That's a really good point, because we did see like all this stuff that's happened. We saw behind the scenes of Kim SNL stuff and all the stuff they were doing. However, there's no mention of Blac Chyna suing them, and that is definitely something that was happening around that time. So you're 100% right with that. Yeah,
exactly. Trust me, they just have the coin. All of this. I said Bruce. The other one, Bruce's ex-wife.
Kris.
Yeah, Kris. That's one thing you can't knock the hustle. They smart as shit, and they gonna get their paper. But that's why I'm like, I've contributed. I mean, right here we're talking about it, but I'm like, I've contributed to the machine enough. I'm done. There's nothing else. Move on to something else. Give me the next family or something. I'm over it. So I'll settle for the excerpts that come out.
Well, Judge Mathis and his family, they're getting a reality show, so maybe they'll.
And that's what I'll be watching. Yup. I'm on it. And Juneteenth.
Happy Juneteenth, guys, and happy Father's Day to all.
Father's Day.
To all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day. To all the single mothers who play the role as fathers,
don't do this.
Day.
Don't stop, because that grinds my gears. We're not going to do that.
I'm trying to end on a good note. Happy Father's Day to all.
We're going to end on a good note. Ladies, stop this.
No, y'all don't stop it. If y'all had to play the role of father, you get a Father's Day card. Yes.
No.
Yes, y'all too.
No. We're going to agree to disagree. No. Let that deadbeat ass man have his day. And besides, if he really a deadbeat like that, a piece of shit, you ain't celebrating nothing, no way. It is what it is. But you don't have to take the day. Like, this got to stop. I'm tired.
The day is hers. Like, it's literally.
No, and look at my mom in there. Thanks, Dex. Mommy, no.
Happy. And
no, we're not going to do this.
And Hair to Die For, no, I don't think there'll be a generational Kardashian kids show, because those kids ain't got no personalities.
Right now, we're seeing North got a little, she following in her mammy footsteps, so we'll see.
You're terrible. See, people like you. People do like the Father's Day. Here at the comments, we support women single mothers who are celebrating Father's Day. We support you guys fully over here.
If we're going to do that, I want to support the single fathers I'm going to start that campaign. We're going to support the single fathers on Father's Day, on Mother's Day too. That's what we're going to start doing.
Now, why is he a single father though?
I mean, we don't know the situation. He could have full custody of his children.
But why though? But why? Because I feel like usually when they're single mothers, it's because some guy's not stepping up. Very rarely is a woman not stepping up. And why am I more of the feminist here than you are? What is wrong with you?
But you know what? After a while, this ain't even going to be a thing at all. Not in this generation we heading in.
3 years.
We, the, she, him, I, no gender. Happy Parent Day. That's what it's about to be.
It's funny you say that though, because a lot of people have been complaining lately on social media that like their kids are not celebrating Mother's and Father's Day. They're doing Happy Parents Day.
Yeah. So let's just and then you know what? Let's do that, and everybody can be happy and celebrated as a parent.
I do like that. I think that
I like that idea.
But
people are going to fight against it.
No, don't fight against it. Like, if you want to celebrate Father's Day, celebrate Father's Day. If you want to celebrate Mother's Day, celebrate Mother's Day. But don't get mad when these people say Happy Parents Day, because they don't want to deal with the BS, and they want to just like they want to be politically correct. So Happy Parents Day.
Happy parent. And I think we're starting next year, maybe they'll just take the Mother's Day and Father's Day away. Meet in the middle. Happy Parents Day.
Yes.
Happy Parental Figure Day. I like that much better.
How does that work with gifts though? Like say you have someone who identifies as a man and identifies as a woman, like your mother and father.
It's a gender neutral gift. You get them like a pet rock.
Right, but no, I'm saying like say like my father, he identifies as a male. My mother, she identifies as a female, right? How does that work with gifts for them? Do I get them 2 gifts on the same day? Do I get them both a gift, or do I not have to do gifts no more? Like, how does that work?
No, you do gifts. And no matter what, just give them the gift that they like. Don't come bringing.
But so I have to buy 2 gifts at the same time though, because I like it how because I like it how it's set up now though, where I have to pay a lot of money this month and then I pay a lot of money that month. Like I don't want to do it all. I can't afford to do it all at the same time.
Well, you're just gonna have to make it work. And I'm with Hair to Die For. Our world is so different. I miss the 80s.
Crack? When they doing crack in the 80s? See, that's the thing though. We're
gonna make America great again. That's the era that Trump was talking about. Crack was legal. Everybody was making money. Reaganomics was running the game.
But see, this is what I always be thinking about though. When people be like, "Oh, we weren't like how y'all are back in the day," this, that, and the third. I think I would rather deal with this than deal with crack, right? Like,
well, I mean, no, because I'd rather fucking deal with crack than what we got now, these meth heads out here.
Well,
every generation got their shit. And yet we just gotta live life to the fullest and maximize the generation that we're in and make it work for us. Because 20 years from down the line, they're gonna be looking at us like we the fuck crazy. And we just gotta be like,
no, 20
right.
20 years down the line, they're going to be looking at us like we're crazy, but they're going to be eating like paper and stuff. Like it's going to be, think about it. If we've progressed as crazy as we have, just imagine what it's going to be like in the future. If you blink at somebody the wrong way, you got to go to jail.
Good morning. What the fuck is so good about it? Did you just try to have sex with me? Oh no, calling the cops.
And yeah, technology.
Don't you dare.
Technology is going to be so crazy. Like maybe not even technology. It's going to be, I mean, I'm doing a citizen's arrest on you.
What'd you say?
And like, they'll be like, I'm doing a citizen's arrest on you.
I'll beat your ass. And then you know what? And the crazy thing, 20 years later, they're going to let them do it too. Okay, I guess so. Cuff me. Or you ain't got no cuffs. You want me to just grab your hand?
So
take me to the car.
I sit in the back of your car and I sit on my hands. And that's how you get arrested. That's a citizen's arrest. And they drive you to the precinct.
You know what? And everybody is going to be neutral. It's going to be full equality on all aspects.
Amen. And Juneteenth is going to be as wild and crazy as the 4th of July and Cinco de Mayo.
And Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah, we're going to have a blast on Juneteenth. And actually, they're going to have a blast. They're going to be wearing dashikis. Y'all going to be so upset. But guess what? Y'all fought for this. So
you did. You did. Go get your ice cream for the Walmart. Hang that piece of kinte cloth outside of your door to be covered by the blood of the lamb.
One last thing. When you guys talk to management, if you guys are off on Monday, do me a favor. Can you ask your management why you're off on Monday? I just want to see something, and just let us know in the comments like what they say.
And on top of that, if you say to ask them why they're off, ask them even the follow-up question should be, so what are your plans?
Yes.
How you celebrate?
Yes, do that. Please do that. And Juneteenth will be the new Freaknik.
You niggas ain't never happy.
Now I gotta go. I gotta go cook dinner.
We give you a holiday. You complain. We celebrate. We start capitalizing on it. Y'all ain't never happy. What's the issue?
Because look, the dollar store definitely profits on all these other holidays. So why can't they profit off Juneteenth? I'm about to go to the dollar store see if they have anything in there actually.
And if they don't, you gonna get mad?
Oh,
you gonna complain? I know damn well.
Times that y'all had stuff up in here. What's up? That's what we do.
You niggas ain't never happy like this. Well, with that note, it's time to say goodbye. But before I go, I want to say congratulations to my baby sister, Day Day, who is graduating from college. I mean, from college. Oh, God. Before you know it will be that. I just got even more sad. She will be graduating for high school on this Saturday, and she won't even be here much longer because then she's going off to a school summer program for 6 weeks. So, but I love my girl. She getting the head start on things. So go ahead, Day Day, take them summer classes. You're going to graduate in and out, maybe 2.5, 3 years. So congratulations to baby sis. We are, oh God, I'm just elated. I really do feel like I'm having like a somewhat mommy slash big sister moment. It was so weird. You should have saw me. Her and my mom were over here the other day. And I'm like, because she's so tiny. So it's like you really gotta worry about the real world. So I'm like, Day Day, be careful. I'm gonna get you mace. You don't do this. There are real predators out there and you gotta be careful. So it was like I was trying to scare her, but not like fully, but you have to be real cognizant of the real world out there. So I did have my mommy moment where I was like, Mommy, did we shelter her too much?
Well, I was sheltered clearly.
But yes, we're very proud. Congratulations. We love you, baby girl, and we're excited for your next journey in life. And I know you're gonna be amazing.
And next week, since this is on Saturday, the graduation on Saturday, next week we'll talk about graduation etiquette. I want to know what people how they were responding, and did they respect it when they said, please hold your applause to the end, including yourself. But we'll talk about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will definitely talk about that. All right, guys, let me just do something really quick. Make sure I didn't miss anything too crazy. All right, yeah, that stuff can wait till next week. All right, guys, we love you. Thank you so much for joining. We probably will not see you on Monday because we're
Juneteenth. Yeah.
Well, some people are off. Usually everybody is off, but we'll see. But you definitely will see us next week between Monday, probably Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. All right. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for coming back and pulling up on us when we take our unscheduled hiatus. We love y'all. Thank you. We're just so appreciative, but victory shall be ours. Things are happening. We're moving. We're doing. God got us, Dex. He got us. The grind don't stop.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We love you guys. YouTubers, we love you. Check out the Minimum Balance podcast. You can find it on all streaming platforms at this point in time. Thank you so much for the support. We'll see you next week. Bye.